Hey folks, how you doing? This is your host Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming here with another episode of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for week 16. That's right folks, we're almost near the end of the regular season here on Big Flem Radio and TV. I hope you guys have been doing a lot of holiday shopping and making holiday plans, to spend time with your family and your loved ones for this upcoming holiday season with Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa coming up within the next week or two. So from all of us here at Big Flem Radio and TV, I just hope you guys enjoy and have a great and safe holidays. Now, getting back to the subject at hand here, like I said a few minutes ago, we're almost ready to wrap up the regular season. Like I said, we're in week 16. We got one more week after this, and the playoff picture is slowly starting to develop. And after this weekend's game, I think it should be in a full view by now. The teams will be firmly set, and also the positioning in the playoffs will be firmly set as well. Alright, before we go into our picks for week number 16, let's go over our stats from last week. We were 10-6 for week 15. So far for the season, we're 132, 82-1 with a winning percentage of 61%. That's pretty good. Like I said, hopefully we can strive to do a little bit better and close out the regular season strong. And also we're 3-4 for upset picks of the week. Alright, so with that stat out of the way, now let's go ahead and focus on our picks for week number 16, shall we? Alright, since we're finished with the Thursday night games for the regular season, now we're going to have 3 games coming up on Saturday the 20th. First game we have is the Houston Texans at 9-5 traveling to Tampa to take on the 7-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Succaneers. So I know this is a key game for the Houston Texans, especially for the AFC South Division title, as they're fighting against Tennessee, who's right behind them. So they're like one game behind. Tennessee Titans are one game behind Houston for the division lead, so this game is very imperative for them. And it's also for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Succaneers. They're at 500, and like I said, they managed to survive this season so far. But they have a very slim playoff chance right now as far as the wild card is concerned. So this game could probably help them as well. But for all intents and purposes, I think we will pick the Houston Texans and Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt, because like I said, they definitely need this win in hopes to win in the AFC South Division, or also at least get a wild card spot in the AFC. Alright, our next Saturday game, we have the Buffalo Bills at 10-4 heading to Foxborough and Gillette Stadium to take on the defending Super Bowl champs, the New England Patriots, at 11-3. And this is a major key game in the AFC, because the winner of this game, like I said, the Patriots won the first meeting earlier in the season, and Buffalo needs to stay pace if they want to at least have a shot of clinching the AFC East title. But right now, it's a very slim chance of that for the Buffalo Bills to do that, even if they win. So first they got to win and do their part. So I think this is going to be a close game. So with that being said, I'm going to make the upset pick of the week. I'm picking the Buffalo Bills over the defending Super Bowl champs, the New England Patriots, this Saturday, folks, for the AFC East division. Like I said, I doubt if they'll win the division, but we'll find out if all the other facets will come into play when they do beat the Patriots. Alright, our last Saturday game, where we have the LA Rams at 8-6 traveling to the Bay Area, to Santa Clara, to take on the San Francisco 49ers at 11-3. And this is also a key game for both teams, especially for the 49ers, because they're battling with the Seattle Seahawks for the NFC West Division title, as well as seeding in the NFC playoffs. And the Rams right now, they definitely need a win in order to boost their playoff hopes, because right now they're sitting on the outside looking in, right behind Minnesota. They're 2 games behind Minnesota for that last wild card spot. And like I said, they need this win. They have to win, and Minnesota have to lose their last 2 in order for them to have any hopes. And also the Rams got to win next week as well to have a better shot of getting that second wild card spot in the NFC. But I think this game is more meaningful for the 49ers than the Rams. So we're going to go with Jimmy Garoppolo and Richard Sherman, my frat brother, and the 49ers to win over the Rams in this one, folks. All right, we're going to go into our Sunday matchup where we have the Baltimore Ravens at 12-2 traveling to Cleveland on the banks of the Cuyahoga River and Lake Erie to take on the struggling 6-8 Cleveland Browns. Everybody had high expectations for the Browns to do better than they did last season when they were 7-8-1. Right now, they could probably tie last season's record. Who knows? At least end the season on a high note. But like I said, this game for Baltimore, I would say is a very important one. But albeit right now they have the best record in the AFC since they've already beaten the Patriots, so they have the tie-breaking edge over the Patriots for the number one seed in the AFC playoffs, and have home field advantage throughout the entire postseason. So with that being said, we're going to go with Lamar Jackson, who's currently in the running for the MVP for this season. So we're going to go with the Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns, folks. All right, our next matchup, we have the Carolina Pathetic Panthers at 5-9 traveling to Indianapolis to take on the 6-8 Indianapolis Colts. Right now, they have a very, very slim chance of making the playoffs. Like I said, they need a lot of help. They got to win out, and they got some other teams that need to lose, like Tennessee and Texas to lose in their own division, of course, and plus some other teams they got to lose for them to make a playoff. So I don't think it's not looking pretty good, but I think at least they can end their season on a high note with a victory over the Carolina Pathetic Panthers on Sunday, folks. All right, our next matchup, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, a.k.a. the Rust Buckets, at 8-6, trying to keep pace in the wild card race as they travel to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the woeful 5-9 New York Jets. Like I said, this is a kind of an important game for the Steelers because it could boost them up in the wild card standings and also get some help along the way too. Because right now they hold the second wild card spot, and like I said, as of right now, Buffalo has a 2-game lead over them for the first wild card spot. But like I said, they got Tennessee on their tail, so they definitely need to win, and hopefully a Tennessee loss, and they can solidify that wild card position. So with that being said, we're going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers, aka the Rust Buckets, over the New York Jets. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Hey folks, this is Big Flem Radio and TV creator and host Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming here, reminding you, the listeners, to be safe out there during this holiday season. Be cognizant of your surroundings while you're out shopping and celebrating the holidays. Park in a well-lit area. Place your purchases out of plain view, and definitely lock your doors, both your home and automobile. If you're out partying, please drink responsibly and catch a cab or an Uber, Lyft, etc. to take you home if you have way too much to drink. Don't get behind the wheel if you're intoxicated, because it's not worth losing your life or someone else's during this holiday season. Big Flem Radio and TV wants you to be around in the new year. Happy holidays!
When you're looking for cooking starters, Carl's Jr. Get a lot of great taste with yourself at our place, Carl's Jr. Next time you feel like cooking up a great tasting breakfast, take a tip from Carl's Jr. Don't. We've already done it for you. You want hot cakes and sausage? You got it. Steak and eggs? Coming up. Omelets, bacon, sweet rolls, and juices at your service. Or how about our sunrise sandwich? A toasted English muffin piled high with egg, cheese, and your choice of sausage or bacon. All served hot and tasty right to your table. Free coffee refills and morning paper too. Breakfast at Carl's Jr. Just like yours, without all the work. You got more than meals at Carl's Jr. You got more than meals at Carl's Jr. You got more than meals at Carl's Jr.
Alright folks, we're back. As you well know, like I said, this is the holiday season, and I know everybody's still out doing their holiday shopping. Right now is five shopping days left until the big man in the red suit make his yearly pilgrimage around the world, delivering gifts to all the good boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're still on that naughty list, I advise you, highly suggest that you do what you got to do to get off Santa's naughty list. And he's looking for that great gift for your friends, family, loved one, co-workers, battle buddies, alien from Mars and from outer space. Please, and I do say please, check out Big Flem Radio and TV's online store. We have plenty of Big Flem Radio and TV theme merchandise for that special gift for someone special for the holidays and for Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah. So please check it out, as well as check out this podcast, as well as 5 other podcast shows dedicated to music, sports, talk, and veterans issues and news. So let's check it out at www.bigflemradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflemradioandtv.com. Like I say, if you want to send us an email, if you want to send us a critique, you want to send us a special request, a special shout out to somebody, or you want to be a guest picker, prognosticator on Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL or College Edition on podcast shows, feel free to do so at bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Also, you can do the same as well on Twitter. Yes, folks, we're on Twitter in the social media world at the hashtag @Flem_radio. Again, that's @Flem_radio. That's FLEM as in Mike _radio, RADIO. Also, we have a Facebook page as well. Just go to facebook.com/Big Flem Radio and TV, and you can also do the same. Leave us a request, leave us a critique, comments, or send a shout out, or you want me to shout out to somebody special. I'll also be a guest picker and prognosticator. You can do the same on the Facebook group page as well. Alright folks, without further ado, let's get back into our picks for week number 16, shall we? Alright. So far, now we're getting to our next pick, where we have, who we got here going on here? Let me look at my thing here. Okay, I think this next pick, I guess it'll be a snoozer, considering both teams are eliminated from playoff contention. But for the fans of these teams, like I said, it's worth to watch. You got the woeful 3-10-1 Detroit Lions traveling to the Mile High City to take on the 5-9 Denver Broncos in this one. Right now, the folks in Detroit, Motown, and the Motor City has been having a fit when the Ford family decided to stick with Matt Patria, their current coach, for the next season, and hopefully he have opportunity to turn things around next season. And also their general manager, I forgot his first name, Quinn. Well, I know his last name is Quinn, but anyway, the Ford family decided to stick with those two for another season. So hopefully they'll get the opportunity to at least figure some things out with these last 2 games of the season. But getting back to the game at hand, folks, I'm going to go with Denver. Like I said, they've been up and down. Like I said, they done went through 2 different quarterbacks. And like I said, Joe Flacco seemed like he flopped this season, and plus he got hurt on top of that. So we're going to go with the Broncos to get a win over the Detroit Lions. Alright, our next matchup is a key NFC East matchup, where the winner of this matchup will have sole possession of first place in the NFC East, and they probably could clinch the NFC East division title. We have the 7-7 Dallas Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes, traveling to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, to take on the 7-7 Philadelphia Eagles. And like I said, the winner of this bout will have first place in the NFC East and more likely will clinch the division. And the loser probably might wind up sitting home for the postseason, because they don't have much of a shot to get into the postseason. So, alright, with that being said, as of right now, Dallas I think Dallas has beaten Philadelphia already in the first meeting, so Philadelphia needs to return the favor. And plus there's some other factors involved, playoff factors involved, in order for them to make the postseason. So If Dallas wins, of course, they win the NFC East outright, and then Philadelphia will be sitting home for the postseason. With that being said, especially the way Dallas has been playing over the last couple of weeks, and they've been screaming for their coach, their head coach, Jason Garrett, to get fired by Jerry Jones. And so far, Jerry Jones not planning on doing it. So we're going to go with the Eagles to win a close one over the Dallas Cowboys, a.k.a. the Cowpokes. All right, our next matchup we have is the Kansas City Chiefs at 10-4, traveling to the Windy City, Chicago, to take on the 7-7 Chicago Bears. The Bears! In Soldier Field. And like I said, to me, this is more of a mop-up game for the Kansas City Chiefs since they already clinched the division. And right now, they're one game behind the Patriots for the second seed in the NFC playoffs. So every game is vital, regardless of who they play. And the Bears, right now, the Bears have a very, very slim chance of making the playoffs. Well, actually, right now, they're one game behind the LA Rams, but they're 3 games behind the Minnesota Vikings for that last wild card spot. So I doubt if that's going to change anything. So with that being said, we're going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs in a win over the Chicago Bears. The Bears! All right, our next matchup, of course, is a snoozer since both teams are officially eliminated from playoff contentions, and plus they're kind of like rivals in the Southeast region. But it's worth noting anyway. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 5-9, traveling to the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, to take on the woeful 5-9 Atlanta Falcons, a.k.a. the Pigeons. It seems like Matt Ryan and company, right now they're trying to do everything they can to salvage this season. So hopefully they'll have something to build on for next season, because I know Dan Quinn is getting a lot of heat, and I know Arthur Blank is not happy, and I think he's going to make it clear after this season that they got to turn around next season, or Dan Quinn might be out of a job next year, after next season. So we'll see how that goes. But for the game at hand, we're going to go with the Atlanta Falcons over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And also, speaking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, they just fired their vice president, and he was also the first head coach in the franchise history who took them to their first AFC Championship game back in the late 1990s, Tom Coughlin, over some NFL Players Association grievance from some of their players for his excessive management of the players. They didn't like how he treated the players and whatever. He's kind of an old school kind of coach. And I guess those days are over now as far as old school coaching, you know, harsh discipline and a taskmaster at that. So, alrighty, moving right along. Our next matchup, we have the 11-3 New Orleans Saints, who already clinched the NFC South Division. Right now, they're looking to improve their standing in the NFC playoff race. Right now, they're tied with Green Bay. Actually, it's a 3-way tie for first place in the NFC. And right now, New Orleans already beaten Seattle. I think I think Seattle beat New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. Right now, it's a 3-way race for the top seed in the NFC. So after this weekend, hopefully it'll be a clear-cut favorite to be the number 1 seed in the NFC after this matchup. And with the win over the Tennessee Titans can go that way. And also this past Monday night, the Saints quarterback Drew Brees set a new NFL record by throwing the most touchdown passes with 530. He surpassed Peyton Manning, who had 537, and Tom Brady was second, so he leapfrogged Tom Brady. And like I said, Tom Brady could take that record if he has a killer game against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. So we'll keep an eye on that record matchup there. So with that being said, we're going to go with the Saints over the Tennessee Titans in this matchup. And like I said, Tennessee also needs this game too if they want to stay pace in the wild card for the AFC as well as the division, the AFC South division. But we're going to go with the Saints on this one, folks. All right, our next matchup is another snoozer game. Not worth watching, but if you're a fan of these teams, I guess it's worth your time watching them. You got the woeful 1-13 Cincinnati Bengals, a.k.a. the Bungles, traveling down to South Florida, Miami-Dade County, to take on the woeful 3-11 Miami Dolphins, a.k.a. the Tuna Fish. like I said, it can go either way, you know. But I'm going to lean towards the Cincinnati Bengals to get their second win of the season. Hey, you know, like I said, especially with Joe Burrows winning the Heisman last weekend, and right now the Bengals, aka the Bungles, will probably be get the first pick in the NFL draft. They might wind up getting Joe Burrows if he decides to go to the NFL this coming year. So with that being said, we're going to pick the Cincinnati Bengals, aka the Bungles. All right, folks, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition for week number 16 here on Big Flem Radio and TV.
Share with us. Tell us. All right, beats coming up. I stopped at a buddy's house this weekend, and when I walked in, he was vacuuming the floor with an old canister vac. He's got the hose in one hand and a hiney in the other. When he turned to look at me, he hit the end of the retractable power cord, pulling it out of the electrical socket. The cord whipped around in the air like a snake. The plug hit him right between the eyes just as he had turned to look at me. He never saw it coming. It knocked him right on his butt. He didn't have the vacuum in hand, but he was still holding his Heineken. Never spilled a drop. My kind of man. Well, at least he has his priorities in order. If you want to share a story you've heard over Heineken, call 1-800-44-RED-STAR. The machine is always on. Talk to you later. Heineken USA, White Plains, New York.
Hey, folks, this is Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming, the host and creator of Big Flem Radio and TV website. As you know, I am a host of 6 podcasts on Big Flem Radio and TV, designed for the general listening audience. Like I said, whenever you get a chance, check it out. Check out the website. Check out the online store for Big Flem Radio and TV themed products and little knickknacks and gifts for your friends and your family members. Like I said, you'll find it very interesting. I guarantee it. Like I said, the podcast covers news, music, talk. I wouldn't say news, but mainly talk about today's news and topics, as well as a channel dedicated to my fellow American military veterans, because I am a veteran myself. 21 years qualifying service in the Army and the Army Reserves, which includes 2 combat tours in Iraq and 6 months contingency operation tour in Kuwait. So I dedicate that show to all my fellow veterans and family members of veterans. So if you give a chance, hey, give me a chance. Give a listen. Check out the website at www.bigflemradiotv, that's one word, .com. Again, that's www.bigflemradiotv.com. I'll spell it out for you. It's BIGFLEM as in Mike, RADIO TV. And you can send me a tweet on Twitter with the hashtag Flem, FLEM_radio. So like I said, give me a shot, give it a listen. And also, if you want to send a request for a song or want to make a comment or criticisms about any of the podcast shows on Big Flem Radio and TV, go ahead. I like to hear from you. Send me a shout out, or if you want me to do a shout out for somebody, or if you want to do a dedication on a certain show, just send it to the email bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv@gmail.com, and put whatever particular podcast show in the subject line. For example, one of the shows you're listening to right now is Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition, as well as College Football Edition. Also, you can send the subject line. You can use My Prerogative with Lorenzo Fleming, Reflections, Rockin' Into the Night, as well as Lorenzo's Jams. Again, give it a try. Check it out. Listen to it. Tell all your friends and your neighbors and your family members, and even strangers. You won't regret it. It's Big Flem Radio and TV.
At Delta Direct, our mission is clear. Like lavender bath beads and a masseuse named Helga, we make you feel tingly all over. So close your eyes, breathe deeply, and chant after me. A 15-minute call could save me 15% or more on car insurance. Feel the tension melt away as you imagine life with smaller bills. To achieve this level of nirvana, call 1-800-947-AUTO, 1-800-947-AUTO. Think of us as aromatherapy for your wallet. Delta Direct, the sensible alternative.
Who are you?
We're Big Flem. Radio and TV. Welcome back, folks. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition for Week 16 of the NFL season here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Right now we're down to our last couple of picks, and then we're going to do our recap of all the picks for week number 16. Alright, our next pick, which is another snoozer game, but like I say, if you're a fan of these teams, if it's worth your while to watch them this weekend, be my guest. More power to you. But anyway, we got the woeful 3-11 New York Giants and Daniel Jones, their rookie quarterback, trying to salvage that ship, which has already been lost, and poor Eli Manning has been riding the pine all season after week 1. So, like I said, this might be his last hurrah in the NFL. We'll see in a couple of weeks if he makes that official announcement, as they travel to D.C. area to take on another woeful team in the NFC East, the 3-11 Washington Redskins, aka the Rednecks, at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The loser of this game, of course, would be occupying the cellar in the NFC East, since both teams are officially mathematically eliminated from the playoff contention anyway. So I guess this is kind of a pride game for either one of these franchises to hopefully salvage what's left of their season. We got two rookie quarterbacks. The quarterback from Ohio State, I forgot his name, versus Daniel Jones, quarterback from Duke, who got picked by the Giants. So maybe we'll give this win to the New York Giants, aka the Midgets, over the Washington Redskins, aka the Rednecks. Alright, our next matchup is a AFC West matchup, since the Kansas City Chiefs already clinched the AFC West division title. And this is also a playing for pride game, where you have the Oakland Raiders, soon to be the the Las Vegas Raiders, come next season. They travel down to the Coliseum where they used to play when they were the LA Raiders. No, actually, I stand corrected. The StubHub Center, or whatever the name of the stadium, soccer stadium that they're using now. They take on the woeful 5-9 LA Chargers. I read something a couple of days ago. They say that this is also might be the end of Phillip Rivers as a LA Charger, especially the way they play this season. These two games might be his last game in a Charger uniform. We'll see how that turns out. And like I said, since they both mathematically eliminated from playoff contention, the Raiders may have a very, 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 and I do see very slim chance of making the playoffs, and even in the wild card. I'll go ahead and give the win to the Oakland Raiders and Derek Carr over the LA Chargers. Alright, our next matchup is an NFC West matchup, which has playoff implications for one of these teams, since one of them are officially mathematically eliminated. The 4-9-1 Arizona Cardinals, with their rookie quarterback Kyler Murray, who won the Heisman last year, traveling to Seattle in CenturyLink Field to take on the 11-3 Seattle Seahawks. Because right now Seattle is in a three-way tie for first place in the NFC as far as the playoff positioning, and a win would definitely help their cause as far as separating themselves from the Packers and the New Orleans Saints. So with that being said, we're going to give it to Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks over the Arizona Cardinals. And last but not least, speaking of the Green Bay Packers, on a Monday night, 2 days before Christmas, there should be a great NFC North matchup, where the winner of this matchup will clinch the NFC North division, and also help their positioning in the NFC playoff picture. So we have the 11-3 Green Bay Packers traveling to Minneapolis to take on the 10-4 Minnesota Vikings. And like I said, the Vikings can also use a win, can also solidify their chance to win the NFC North division title, as well as they're currently sitting in the second seed in the wild card hunt. So things could go either way for both teams, and I expect this is going to be a close contest. But I'm going to give it to Aaron Rodgers and company over the Minnesota Vikings, folks, for the NFC North division title, as well as boosting their chances to be the number one seed in the NFC in the playoffs. Alright folks, let's do our recap of our picks for week number 16 of the NFL season, shall we? Like I said, we picked the Houston Texans over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Succaneers. The San Francisco 49ers over the LA Rams, aka the Sheep. The Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns. The Indianapolis Colts over the Carolina Pathetic Panthers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, aka the Rust Buckets, over the New York Jets. The Denver Broncos over the Detroit Lions. The Philadelphia Eagles over the Dallas Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes. And Kansas City Chiefs over the Chicago Bears, the Bears. The Buffalo Bills over the New England Patriots as the upset pick of the week. The Atlanta Falcons over the Jacksonville Jaguars. The New Orleans Saints over the Tennessee Titans. Cincinnati Bengals, aka the Bungles, over the Miami Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish. The New York Giants, aka the Midgets, over the Washington Redskins, aka the Rednecks. The Oakland soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders over the LA Chargers. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals, and last but not least, the Green Bay Packers over the Minnesota Vikings. Alright folks, there you have it. Those are our Big Flem's Pigskin picks for week number 16 of the NFL season. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I hope you guys have a safe and wonderful holiday season. Early Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and also Happy Kwanzaa for those who celebrate Kwanzaa. Alright folks, we're going to wrap this up and tune in next week for week number 17, the final week of the regular season of the NFL, with Big Flem's Pigskin Picks here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Big Flem Radio and TV is a production of Flem Media as well as Black Rebel Productions. The opening theme for Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition is property of NFL Sports as well as Fox NFL Sports. Big Flem Radio and TV do not own the rights to the music clip, nor do they profit from it. Again, happy holidays and be safe, and also make sure you look out for your friends, loved ones, and family members, and also look out for the homeless, the widows, and orphans, and also do something for someone who is less fortunate than you this holiday season, because Jesus is the reason for the season, and it's not about commercialism, buying gifts, and all that materialistic stuff. So that's Big Flem's spiel on that. Again, like I said, let's sign off with Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2020, and also Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa. Take care, folks. Enjoy the holidays. Be safe. And also, if you're drinking, don't drink and drive. Make sure you get a Lyft or an Uber or a designated driver or a taxi to take you home if you had too much to drink, if you're out partying during this holiday season. All right, folks. Take care. See you again. Be safe.
Hi, I'm here today because I'm addicted.
Big Flem Radio and TV.
Get ready.
You know.
Now that's an addiction, man.